Thank you for tuning into a DBU. And today we're blessed to have one of the top doctors in our area, Dr. Stephen Lopez. We welcome you to the show.
Thank you, ma'am.
To the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So it's a blessing. We met Sheila and we had to have you come.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to have you come. So tell us a little bit about the agency you work for and what you guys do.
Okay. The agency is named Palmetto Lowcountry Behavioral Health. We are a 100-bed hospital treating ages between 12 and 112.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So we've been around about 20 years. I think the hospital opened up its doors as Palmetto back in 1999, but it's been a psychiatric building and hospital since 1982.
Oh, okay.
I have been there myself for 20 years. I
time.
basically pulled in the parking lot when they were changing the sign to Palmetto, so I've been there the whole time it's been Palmetto.
Wow.
We treat specifically the populations. We have a 32-bed unit for adolescents, ages 12 to 18.
Okay.
And then we have an acute crisis unit, which has approximately 32 beds.
Okay.
Then we treat addiction, psychiatry, which is drugs and alcohol. Number of about 16 beds. And then we have an acute unit, more for higher functioning mood disorders like depression and bipolar, and approximately 16 beds.
Okay.
We also have an outpatient program, where patients come either from an 8:30 to 12 program called intensive outpatient, and then we have a PHP program, which adds another 3 hours into the day.
Okay.
And they come 5 days a week, no weekends, and they go home at night, and it's more of the patients who kind of need to step down from acute,
Right.
or may come in for an assessment and need more intense treatment in outpatient, but maybe not the need of having to stay the night.
So that's kind of an intense program. What's the success rate with that program?
Well, anecdotally, I would say a high 90% patients leave better than when they came in.
And that's a plus.
Yeah, I mean, when these patients come into our hospital, it's probably by definition the worst day of their lives. They've had something going on with their families or in their personal life, or maybe they're just biological psychiatric conditions where they need to come into the hospital and be treated for 24-hour care by a full nursing staff, doctor staff, and mental health tech staff.
How are you funded?
We take private insurance. We take Medicaid. We take for kids. We take Medicare. For payment, but overall, we treat whoever needs to be treated.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so if someone walks off sitting suicidal, homicidal, or they're a danger to themselves or other.
Exactly.
We are mandated and moralistically as well to treat them. Yes.
One of the things that I was impressed with your agency is that you reach out to the community, and so you're community connected. How do you draw all your patients into you?
Okay. Many ways. Start off with local ERs.
Okay.
When patients are in crises, they go to the emergency room. Once the emergency room does do their assessment, they feel like this patient really needs to come in for treatment. They'll call us, and we'll take basic information. Call myself or other doctors who are on call and say, hey, yeah, bring them on in, and we can accept them that way. Other way is they call in. We have an assessment department that's open 24 hours a day. That they take phone calls.
Wow.
And through the phone calls we can triage it. It's like, say, hey, come on in for an assessment, or you need to go to the emergency room because maybe they may have a medical problem that's getting in the way. Either way, we have a lobby that we give 24-hour free consultation services where they can come in as a walk-in or call in for an appointment, and we can see how we can best help them. Either we can help them or find a place where they can be helped.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, other ways. Community referral sources. Local counselors, physicians. They can call us directly and go, hey, I have a patient in my office who needs help, or I have a patient at home who needs to come in for help, and he needs more than just my outpatient treatment. Okay. So then we'll make an appointment and have them come to our facility.
Do you do in-home visits?
We do not do in-home visits. Everything is on site.
Everything is on site.
Yes, ma'am.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So how do you feel being the CEO?
I'm the medical director.
Medical director.
Yeah, you don't want me to say I'm good at some things, not good at others.
So the medical director.
Yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I cannot imagine not doing anything. I mean, I cannot imagine doing anything else. Yeah. And I've been there for 20 years as a doctor. I became medical director around 2003, 2004, and I just really enjoy it. I am blessed with some wonderful docs. So it makes it good because, you know, how you do well, you surround yourself with smarter people. So I have smarter docs around me who are great. You know, combined between the four of us that are main doctors for the everyday patients, we got over 50 years combined work in
that's
this
something
field.
to boast about.
Yeah.
And especially with the quality of the doctors that you have.
They are great. I'm lucky that I found people who want to work at the hospital who are team players.
Right.
We're always there for each other. It's a really neat team.
That's great.
That's probably the best word is team.
Since you have an in-house concept sometimes, do you work at night also?
I work in that. We have a rotating call shift.
Oh, okay.
That basically at 24 hours a day,
Right.
there's a doctor that can either come on site if need be,
Right.
or usually they can be called for questions. So we have a doctor on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
That's great.
Yeah.
What would you say that would draw people to your facility that didn't really know about the facility?
Well, the good thing is that we do treat pretty much any psychiatric disorder for a 12-year-old or above. We have separate units which we can actually place patients based on their presenting problem,
Exactly.
so they can be around a group of patients that have like problems.
Right.
And the biggest thing, we've been around a long time.
And for 12 years, then you started 12 years old.
We start 12 years old, yes.
That's awesome.
We have our child unit treats 12 to 18. You know, we average about 20 to 30 patient census on the unit. We have really good seasoned nurses and mental health techs who know how to work with these kids. And that's my passion too. I'm a child psychiatrist as well, so that's my passion. So,
I was thinking about that because
Yeah.
children need help a lot of times, and unless they have that quality type of care, they get lost in the school system. I've
Yes.
worked in and out the school system, so you see kids being lost in the school system all the time.
Yeah.
And they would need a facility like yours to help. Do you get the parents involved in the children's treatment and educating them?
Absolutely. For every for every child, there's got to be a guardian. If you think about it,
Right.
so it's almost like you have two patients.
Right.
You know, you're helping the kids, of course, but then they also have their home environment where they're. It's almost they have their family, they have their peers, they have their teachers, they have their pastors, they have. I mean, it's a whole.
Wow.
All kids have a multi-system team around them
Right.
to help raise them. So,
how
they
do you
get everybody
infuse
involved.
all of them together? That they help each other?
Well, the main focus we do have is, obviously with the child and the guardian. We don't reach out to other outside people in their multi-system, unless the family gives approval. 'Cause,
Okay.
confidentiality is number one in our field.
Number one.
Yeah, number one.
Number one.
So what we do, when the kids come in, we get to the family and we make sure that we have a good plan. Number one, plan for their safety, because most kids kids who come in are at risk of something that requires them to be in a hospital. Number one goal is to stabilize that risk, and also to devise a good discharge plan so when they go home, the way I always tell the kids is my goal is to make sure you don't have to come back.
I like that.
Yeah, so whatever we need to put in place, that so they have something better is going on upon leaving than when they came in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You have excellent outreach,
Mhm.
and because Sheila is phenomenal.
Yes, she is. We are so lucky to have our whole marketing team. Sheila's fantastic. She's great. We have three staff who are just fantastic, good representatives of our facility, and they always come back to us.
Right.
And as far as customer service is concerned, I get phone calls saying, hey, somebody in the community had a problem with this. Can you call them for me? I'm like, absolutely. Let's figure out what's going on. To make sure that, because we have to evolve. You're never as good as you can be.
Right.
And the goal is to do better.
To do better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah, the day I feel like I've got everything figured out is the day I need to retire.
Right.
Yeah.
So how long do you intend to man your position? Are you going to stay around a while?
I plan on staying around. I love my job. Love my job. So I will be there as long as I have control.
Right.
So I mean, if I retire there, I'll be happy.
Right. Do you find that the families really come in and participate and help with the person that is being treated?
Yes, on the most part. I mean, you do have some sad stories of kids who are, in DSS custody or foster care because of, sometimes us adults aren't the best people for certain kids. We work with the state as far as helping, certain kids get the treatment they need. But again, the majority of the time there are, guardians, parents, grandparents, and they are super involved. They want to know what's going on, and we can discharge to a better situation.
That's great. Do you work with guardian ad litems for children that are in the system?
Yes,
themselves?
yeah, there are guardian ad litems that do have that do come into our hospital to help out with the kids. So yes, to answer your question, yes.
How about your volunteer force? How would someone come to volunteer to help?
Well, volunteers kind of limited to inside of our hospital just because of confidentiality.
Right, exactly.
So we do kind of limit that just because it's hard to meet the HIPAA standards.
Exactly.
Yeah, with having people who come in the hospital
Right.
just to volunteer. Yes.
How do you receive your funding? How can people, some rich person that might want to just
Well,
seed into your...
We're for profit, so
okay.
so we really can't take donations.
This is very okay.
Yeah, so it'd be great if we could.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know in a lot of times with children in schools, what would you recommend for, because you specialize with children, with someone that's having trouble with their child and not really understanding what's going on, how would you address that parent in getting assistance for their child? Because some parents are shy and they don't want the stigma.
No, absolutely. Well, what we do is, once you leave our hospital, we set you up with an outpatient provider. It's almost like you're not allowed to leave without coverage, without help. So when patients come in with, like say, a referral from yourself, for example, then we'll make sure that we have, an appointment on the way out as well. But if it's a patient who doesn't have resources, we're mandated within ourselves to make sure that we give them an outpatient provider so they can have care upon leaving, so they can get that help.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about the other programs that you offer the community as far as, and I think maybe that might get a little technical, so we're going to kind of wait, take a station break, and we're going to be right back.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for staying tuned to a DPU. And we're talking with Dr. Lopez today, and from the Lowcountry, Palmetto Lowcountry. We want to talk about substance abuse.
Okay, yes ma'am.
Okay, so tell us, how does your facility handle someone that's coming in for substance abuse?
Okay.
From children to the adults.
All right. The way I look at substance abuse is two different ways. There's the medical component, and then there's the addiction component, where we strive to help them stay sober.
Okay.
So I'll start off with the acute wise. I mentioned that we have a 16-bed addiction unit. So that's people who come in who need medical detox. We're talking to people who are going through withdrawal, which can be life-threatening. And the most life-threatening is alcohol and sedative hypnotic abuse.
Okay.
Those patients can die from withdrawal. So what we do medical withdrawal in our hospital. Usually they stay about 5 to 8 days where they can make sure we're cleared medically. During that time they're also going through groups during the day. Nobody just sits around and does anything. We have a really super set schedule for patient care. So while they're getting help medically, they're also go to groups about how they're going to stay sober once they get out.
Okay.
So that's our acute program. But afterwards, we have part of our outpatient program is a part called CARE, our CARE program.
Okay.
It's our addiction outpatient program. It meets from 9 to 12 Monday through Friday. The goal of this program is to help them get the tools to stay sober. And the good thing about 9 to 12, if they work during the afternoons, they can go back. They can go to work during the afternoons, or still in the mornings, and get the treatment that they need to stay sober. We also have AA and NA that come onto our campus on a regular basis to help, with groups and to help with the acute and the care program. We try to, and just like with kids who always have a system around them, we try to get families involved to help them stay sober, because a lot of these patients are married, or they have relationships, or they live with their families. So we try to get the families also involved, which kind of opens up to while we have our hospital, which is very confidential and based on confidentiality, we do allow have families come in at the approval of the patient, where we have visiting hours, during the day with the kids every single day, and with our adults, certain days of the week where families can come in and visit their loved ones and can meet with therapists and everything to help them get better.
Okay.
So as back to the addiction and part, it's huge these days. We get calls every single day, multiple times a day, for people who need help with anything from alcohol, opiates. That's the big hot spot.
That's what I
Holy
know.
cow.
I've experienced that.
Yeah.
I had a bad back problem.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what the system was, and because I travel so much, I have a doctor in every state that I go because I'm legally blind and I can lose my sight if I sneeze.
Okay.
But this particular time it's my back that went out. And the opiates.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know what it was. What it was.
Yeah, I mean, it's the narcotics, the opiates. You know, I mean, when I say it's a hot spot, it's not like it's new. It's just gotten a spotlight on it.
Exactly.
People, and unfortunately, while people have been dying from the addiction for years, and over the past 5 or 6 years, a lot of famous people have passed away because of addiction, which has kind of opened up the spotlight.
Right.
And to how it's over medicating in the community, patients who are getting savvy. And I use the word savvy, but who'll go and who they'll doctor shop for medications. Luckily, the government's getting involved and putting some things in place.
They're really putting things in place. The pharmacist said, "You have a doctor here that's giving you this," and I'm like, you know what? You can check with my doctors. I don't really take that medicine because it doesn't do me any good. But I have to take it. I have to get it because they get angry if I don't take it.
Yeah.
And then I realized one of my members was saying, "Do you know, Apostle, do you know they're drugs?" I'm like, "They don't do anything." She said, "That's because you have a crazy system. But people are buying this on the street." So I was just shocked. I said, "Are you serious?" She said, "Yes, they're buying it on the street." And when she was telling me what they were paying for it, I said, "Oh, they were crack?" She said, "Yeah, that's the problem. They're on crack."
What's interesting is that, what's great about the state now, and we're kind of catching up with what they were doing up north and in northern states, is that I can't prescribe a Schedule II, which is like a narcotic, or without checking the system.
Exactly.
So I have to go online, which really it ain't really easy too, on my phone. Go online, I put in a patient's birthday, and I can see where they prescribed and when, and by what doctor. So a lot of times when patients are looking for narcotics or prescribed narcotics, I can look up and see if they've been getting it as prescribed, or maybe they've been abusing, getting it from different. They've been what they call doctor shopping. Now, what's good about that is, we're in a community now, or in a society, doctors are that we don't want to get burned, quote unquote. So people need narcotics. I mean, it's the reason we have narcotics. I mean, the people need them.
Some need them.
Some need them. But so. Sometimes people will think everybody is looking for narcotics illegally or wrong, or for wrong reasons.
Right.
But the good thing about that system is that I can look it up and go, wow, they're actually on a certain protocol and they're actually complying with the doctors.
Right.
Okay, let me help you, kind of thing. Or the other side is, you've kind of been getting it from multiple places, so maybe
unsupervised,
maybe we need to look at a detox or figure out different ways, non-narcotic ways of treating your pain.
So you can bring them in to help them detox if they're willing to.
Absolutely, if they're willing to detox, we can. One thing about narcotics, I hate to focus on narcotics, I apologize. But
it's okay.
But one thing about narcotics is that you cannot die from withdrawal, but you sure want to feel like it, because it's a horrible withdrawal.
Oh.
So get that. So when they come in the hospital, we can give them the medications that help them with the symptoms.
Right.
So then, upon discharge, we can either send them to a pain management or any kind of other medical provider to help them with their pain.
How about alcoholics?
Yes.
You help out with that?
Absolutely. That's probably a number one reason why somebody gets admitted to our addiction unit, and number one reason why somebody comes to our care program for outpatient is alcohol. It's been around forever, and people, sometimes they get it honestly from genetics, where they have a genetic history of alcohol dependence in the family.
Right.
It gets in the way of their legal status, medical status, family status, work status. Alcohol, when it's abused and people become addicted, can ruin lives.
You know what? You just said something.
Yes.
So alcoholism can be genetic.
Yes,
can be genetic.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you any times when part of my psychiatric assessment was asking about family history. And with people who have addiction problems, I'll ask them, any history of psychiatric problems or addiction? Oh yeah, my entire maternal side of my family, bunch of addicts.
Wow.
Bunch of alcoholics. I'm like, okay. So, that there's a genetic factor. Some people just can't drink.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I never thought about it being genetic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if with the families, do you counsel the families to help them break the addiction, or is the families in a supportive team?
I'd say more of a supportive team.
Okay.
Because, for example, families, let's say there's a spouses that one's an alcoholic, but the other one is not, but still drinks.
Okay.
A lot of times we'll be like, hey, can you not drink at home for a while? Can you help out with the support system?
Right.
And that's one way we can get a family. We get families or spouses or loved ones or whatever involved is by helping them helping them in that patient's environment. 'Cause a lot of it's environmental.
Right.
You know, they got to know wow, now that I'm recovering or decided not to drink anymore, I can't go to local bars. I, shouldn't be around certain, while maybe good people who would be a bad influence. Trigger. It's my better word.
Triggers,
not bad influence. That'll trigger the person to start drinking
Exactly.
again. So you gotta get the families involved, because rarely is somebody out there on an island by themselves.
That's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's something. You have such an open spirit, and so I can see you bringing a lot of divine healing into people just by who you are. Makes a big difference. Well, when we come back, we want to just finish out and let people know that this beautiful facility is here, and it's affordable.
Yes.
And it's open. It's been around for 20 years. Okay.
Yes.
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Thank you for staying tuned, and we're talking again to Dr. Lopez today with Palmetto Lowcountry. Dr. Lopez, we want to talk about the concept, mental health.
Okay.
Is there a stigma with it?
Well, if I can play on words there,
Okay.
everybody has a mental health. So everybody has emotions, everybody has feelings. You can be mentally healthy, or sometimes you can be mentally unhealthy.
Right.
So everybody has a certain level of mental health.
Okay.
Now, as far as the stigma, the good thing is in 2019, people are more open to talk about mental health or the challenge that they have. You see it. You see it in the community with family. You see it on TV. You see it with even politicians are now talking more about it, because all the tragedies going on in the world with mentally ill patients doing bad things.
Right.
So it's definitely now an open stigma. 30 years ago there was, you wouldn't talk about it. You don't talk about Junior in the corner or etc.
Exactly. Right.
Now it's more like it's getting to be more of a healthy norm that we're open to talk about, and which is great about that is it brings healing. It allows us to go get help.
Yes.
Which is a huge
embarrassed.
thing, because
Yes.
you can't be healthy if you don't get help, and so I think I think it's a good, and hopefully it'll get better too. It's a good time for mental health because it's not as much of a stigma as before.
That's great.
Yeah.
I know with the alcoholism, I have a few friends and I find a lot of times when you're professional and you have that illness, it's a stigma on it. So you keep it on the down low.
Yeah.
Which is good but not good. So this type of facility would be great, that they can go and be private, but yet still be healed.
Yes,
or get
absolutely.
that special care need that they need.
It's and we have one thing I have to brag about our campus. It's not like this small closed-in dark castle.
Right.
It's actually it's an open campus. It's right on the water.
Oh yes, that's peaceful.
Yeah, it's really peaceful.
Yeah.
They're different. Our units are in different buildings, pods that are all one floor buildings, and with walkways, and we have a little flower garden, a gazebo, and it's really neat.
That's serenity. I love that.
Yeah. So it's really, it's been there a long time, but it's still and the open air is great when it comes to walking between units. So as I said, it's been around for 20 years, and we're trying to make it nicer every day.
And that's a blessing.
Yes.
We've been talking. Tell us how to get in contact with you.
Okay. All right. Our address is 2777 Spiceseeger Drive. It's in North Charleston.
Okay.
Phone number to call the facility is 843-747-5830.
Okay. And we're going to make sure that shows at the bottom. But once again, give us the location.
Okay. It's,
and the hours that they can come.
Okay. The address is 2777 Spiceseeger Drive. Phone number is 843-747-5830. We are open 24/7. On-site assessments, or we try to do the hours between 8 and 11 o'clock, 8 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
But we're open for admissions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, like any hospital.
Well, that's fine.
Yes.
So it's really considered as a hospital.
Yes. Oh, it's a hospital.
It's
Yes.
a hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes.
We've enjoyed you today.
I've enjoyed being here. Thank you.
We really enjoyed you. This is something that our community needs to know about mental health. Not being embarrassed about it, but that we can plug in to heal our families that are ailing.
Yes, ma'am.
Are ailing. So, what's your last words? What you want to leave with us?
I think the big thing is I think everybody has mental health, and when it becomes unhealthy, get help.
I like that. Everyone has mental health.
Yes.
And when it becomes unhealthy, kind of help some people because they don't know when it becomes unhealthy.
Yeah.
What's uncomfortable? What's when you know that you're getting in trouble?
When you do number one thing that we see every day is when you feel like you no longer want to be alive.
That's crucial.
Yeah.
That is crucial.
Yes.
Do not self-meditate. Medicate.
Medicate.
Do not self-medicate.
Meditation is good though.
Exactly. Come on, give us the information where we can find this facility once again.
Okay. Address is 2777 Spiceacre Drive, and the phone number is 843-747-5830.
Okay, Dr. Lopez, we really enjoyed you today.
Thank
you
you
for taking the time to come, and thank you for listening. And please feel free to reach out if you have someone in your family or loved one that is going through any kind of mental challenges. Please visit the Palmetto Lowcountry. Have a great day.
Palmetto Lowcountry Behavioral Health is a private hospital located on the beautiful Ashley River in Charleston, South Carolina. The caring staff specializes in helping teens, adults, and senior adults effectively manage and cope with mental health and substance misuse issues. Our goal is to provide each patient with compassionate treatment that focuses on creating a foundation for continued hope, healing, and recovery. Call today to schedule your no-cost assessment. Help is just a phone call away.